Hi, so we are here with Nasim and we have a special guest with us, which is
Oh, me?
yes, you,
Yeah, Samir.
Big Brother
Yeah.
Samir. And Samir came specifically to share senior night with us. Nasim, how was senior night?
I mean, it went pretty well. I feel like we played okay. We had a little bit too many mistakes, but I felt like we stayed in there. We fought, so I was proud of my boys and how we played, even though we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was not 0-58, but
48 to 21. Yeah, 48 to 21.
yeah, so not that bad.
Mm-mm.
And so, Samir, thank you for coming. And we're doing this because this is a special year as he's getting ready. And I thought it might be nice maybe to compare a little when you think back about your last year from high school and we got you ready to go.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that process, about that year?
Not a lot, but I remember looking at the schools and trying to figure out where I was interested in going, and because I ended up going to art school, so we were looking at the Savannah College of Art and Design was one, the Memphis Memphis Art Institute or something. Also the Columbus College of Art and Design, I believe. I think those were the main three that I looked at, and I didn't really go outside of those. And the main thing I remember is briefly taking those trips to those places. When we went to Columbus, Ohio to look at that school, and I think SCAD came to my high school and spoke to us, and I can't remember if we went anywhere for the Memphis thing. I know we went to Louisville for another college, but I wasn't planning on going there because I didn't have anything to do with. I was pretty laser focused on going somewhere where I could major in animation. So yeah, that's the main thing of what I remember, going to those places. And yeah, I think I also had to I also did the ACT and SATs and whatnot. I don't remember how I did on any of those. I don't know if that made a difference. I threw it out of my mind as quickly as possible after it was done. Yeah.
And what do you remember about the excitement as far as thinking about leaving home and stuff like that?
It was pretty exciting. It was, I think, something I was looking forward to, at least being in an environment where I would be surrounded by
People like you.
Yeah, surrounded by people with the same interests as me, because I obviously had friends who liked some of the same stuff that I did, in Lexington and stuff we were at the time, but it was the prospect of finding people who were sort of as involved and invested in animation or art in general as I was, and we're going into it sort of like, this is what I want to do with my life, with the rest of my life. That was really exciting, because I hadn't really had a lot of interaction with a steeped in a big environment like that, where everyone was sort of on the same page. But yeah.
So, Nasim, how is it for you?
Like the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm excited to go to a new place and like really be on my own, and really be in a new environment and play football at a different level. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of experience of leaving home and going somewhere I'm not familiar with, and have to adjust. And you know what I'm saying? And being away from you when I had first came here, so I feel like some of the skills I'm already used to, but there's still a lot more stuff I want to learn and I have to learn when I go to college. But I'm just excited.
Was there something that you wanted to add? I heard you agree about.
Oh no, that's a skill set we have growing up in this family.
being
tossed out into the wilderness and made to adjust, adapt. Figure it out.
Figure it out. Make friends. You'll be okay.
No, yeah. So that's definitely exciting. Just in general, it's a very enticing, thing to leave home and be out on your own and see what you're capable of and see what that's gonna be like. At the same time, it can also be scary because you don't have that, you still have a safety net, so to speak, but you're definitely out on your own, and you're gonna have to figure out stuff on your own. You're not, depending on where you are, it's sort of just like you having to solve all your own problems and with whoever's there with you. So, but yeah, I mean that's part of
growing up,
life.
Yeah.
So do you have? I mean, kind of just did, but do you have any last thoughts or words of wisdom? And do you perhaps have some questions for him as far as this getting ready?
Words of wisdom. I'm trying to think about going in my first year. We were also going into very different environments. So I don't know how much of what I went through is gonna,
I mean, they both colleges.
But I'd say don't feel too in a rush to or feel too impatient about trying to find your people, or just don't get worried if it doesn't come to you quickly, because I feel like that takes a while. Like initially, it may be the same for you. That you sort of just get put with people, and you're sort of just like friends through circumstance. Like they decide this is who your group is, and then it's not till a couple years later where you're like, okay, this is actually who I vibe with. This is actually who's best to be around.
Right.
So there's a lot of and honestly, don't be afraid to be yourself in the sense of, there might be a lot of people who are not as mature or capable as you, and don't don't get hung up on trying to take care of them or look after them. Like you're good at taking care of yourself. So if you're doing that, you should be fine.
Right.
Do you have any questions, thoughts?
I mean, as you said, we're going to I'm going into a very different situation when he went into, but it's both college. I mean, how was it? How was it to be with a roommate and not, what I'm saying? How was it to be with a roommate and not, in a house?
I feel like it'll depend on what, I feel like once you have a roommate, you're gonna learn very quickly what you're willing to put up with, and what, you're gonna figure out very soon what you want your living situation to be like. And so, hopefully you find somebody that's a nice setup, and y'all have, y'all are on the same level. It might be that they're the more frustrating person to be around. It may be that you're the more frustrating person to be around.
Right.
That's the, so you don't know until you get there. But I learned a lot about what I want my life to be like, what I want my living space to be like, once I lived with someone who did not live up to that. And it was like, I thought we were on the same level. We were both coming here. And you still got this person still had a lot to learn, a lot to grow, so yeah.
I feel that.
All right, well, thank you, and then we will leave it at that.
Yeah.
Hi, this is a little bit of a follow-up to the conversation you just saw, because I made this video to share the journey, and of course we want to share the joys, but there's also, the complicated side. And it is now in the morning. It's a little bit after 8. And Nasim left this morning to go take his ACT test. And for the record, and I come out of higher education, I mean, to me personally, the test is bogus. It does not test your intellectual capacity. It really tests how many resources you have and your test-taking abilities. But, we'll play the game. But that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, he's taking the test. And so I talked to him this morning about not being stressed, about knowing that he's capable, and this is just a hurdle, whatever is laying out in front of him, whatever he has come to him. He has orchestrated that through his hard work in the classroom, on the football field. So this is just a step, and to just do it and just relax. So that's the advice I gave him. But we also said our goodbyes, because today I'm leaving. I'm flying back to the Netherlands for 4 weeks. And she also wanted to show this side of how we do this. And I'm very glad I'm leaving him in the hands of his brother. We'll be here for a few more days. But also I'm leaving him in the hands and the support of a community. I don't do this by myself. And he's pretty self-reliant, as they said. I've thrown them through the wolves. I've made them very independent. But this is also part of it. I cannot do it by myself. I'm a single parent, but, have a very loving and supportive community who help me take care of my children. And I have to go home because I have another child that needs attention. I have elderly relatives that I need to check on, but also because I need to go and work, because I am not independently wealthy. So I'm going to go be in the Netherlands for a month and work almost every day so that I can, do this and be here with my child. And so I want to share that because, 2.5 years ago when it was clear he needed to come back and he wanted to come back, again, things aligned and people came and helped so that he could be here. But I promised him then, I will be there for your senior year. And I didn't know how, but that didn't matter. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be there. And so, you set out this goal and you just take steps. And so you start saving money, and then, things align, things work out because of how you come up with something in your mind and you don't start focusing on what you cannot do, but you just focus on, okay, I'm going to go there. I don't know how it will unfold, but that's where I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to be. So this is part of that story that, and I have elderly relatives that I cannot just leave behind in a house and another child. So I'm here, then I'm going to go back for a month, and I'm here again, and then, so that's kind of how we're doing it, making this happy. So this morning we said our goodbyes. There is a chance that I might see him, but probably not. Probably by the time he finishes, I will have to head for the airport. So there's great joy and excitement, and then sometimes like, it's like, I gotta leave my baby behind and hoping he'll get up in the morning and do all that stuff. But just wanted to share it with you and say, it truly takes a village. And we do this so that our kids can be the best that they can be. And so create, work the village. That's all I gotta say. Bye-bye.